Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the Fondjoy Justice League Black Suit Superman. I want to give a huge thanks to a long-term subscriber for sending me a bunch of Fondjoy figures to review. It is much appreciated. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, DC Justice League action figure. We have the Batman vs Superman logo, it looks like. Officially licensed DC product. Superman 1/9 scale action figure by Fondjoy. Here's the front, Superman, red eyes, black suit. Superman 1/9 scale action figure. Other side, same thing. At the back, here's the figure posed up. Looks like we have one accessory. And there's the barcode if that helps. So with no further ado, let's open him up. So this is the Henry Cavill Superman from Justice League in his black suit. Now, there is a newer version of this coming out soon, so I thought I should probably get the review of the old one out of the way. He's been on my to-do list for quite a while. And frankly, this version sucks. The new one looks fantastic, a huge improvement from this one, and we'll get into that as we dig into the video. Now, this is one of the older Fondjoy figures. They used to be honestly horrific, but ever since the Ben Affleck Batman, they've been excellent. This is the older version, similar scale, but likeness is just god-awful, and so are many other things about the figure. So let's take a closer look. Now, start with his head. Like I said, I really want to give these guys a chance and like them, and the face is just far too thin. It doesn't really look like Henry Cavill. I can tell it's supposed to be the Henry Cavill Superman. It looks okay at best. I'd say between okay and good. It's not horrible, but I'd say it's a little bit less than good. Even the way his cape attaches to his outfit, I don't like the way that looks. The Superman logo is okay. It's sort of bent a little bit. His abs are, I don't know, a little bit sort of like too much like breasts, or sticking out a little bit too far. It is double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. You can see the sleeves, the belt, the different sculpted lines. The texture on the suit is also okay. The cape, I hate the cape. It feels so rough and off. I don't know if you can sort of hear that. As my hand kind of goes over it, it's like getting stuck constantly. It just feels so bad. It just, I don't want to touch it. It's just yuck. The inside part feels pretty smooth. Outside part is just so rough. And then, of course, there's no bendy wire in the cape, and it even has that sort of sewn pocket where you could easily sort of slide one up there. Reminds me of a lot of stuff McFarlane's been doing lately. I don't know, just the joints with the arms, the proportions, it all just looks off. And I get it. This is an older Fondjoy figure. They were not nearly what they are today back then. And I can't wait to get the new Black Suit Superman and compare the shit out of them. And then shit all over this guy. Like I said, I want to give him a chance, and this head is not horrible. You know, but like I said, I'd say it's between okay and good. Kind of mediocre. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Head sits a little too high in the neck. Head's too thin. It just looks like sort of a knockoff Henry Cavill, like a Temu Henry Cavill. And that's exactly what this feels like. A Temu Henry Cavill Superman figure. I mean, I can totally tell it's supposed to be Henry Cavill, but it is not up to today's Fondjoy standards at all. And a closer look at the Superman logo and the texture on his suit. And if I only had this guy, I would think, you know, the texture is okay. But I have the new Henry Cavill Superman from the 2-pack with the Armored Batman, and boy, does that make this one look bad. Puts this to shame big time. And then here's this figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. The head comes off with ease, even though he doesn't have an alternate second head to swap with. Now let's check out his accessories. And let's start off with the display stand. Here's his display stand. Typical Fondjoy display stand. Base is an oval. It's got the silver Superman logo, which is appropriate for the black suit. It says Superman at the front, and then it has this post to hold your figure. At the bottom, it can rotate. It's hinged at the bottom, hinged in the middle, hinge at the top, rotation at the top, and it has this clamp to hold your figure in place. Now let's look at his hands. He has a total of 6 hands. 3 left hands and 3 right hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. And then his second pair of hands. These are some semi-open hands. They look like they could be some good grabbing, choking, or throwing hands. And here's his third set of hands. These are a pair of open, extended hands. They'd be some great flight hands. Now I think every single Superman figure out there should come with 2 fists and 2 flight hands, and at least this guy has that covered. Now it would have been nice if he also had a pair of gripping hands, but I'm pretty pleased with the hand selection. And now for his head and heat vision effects. So this Superman only has one head. Regular head. Now the blue and red version, the old school version, had 2 heads. One like this, and one a little more angry. So I've talked about this to death. Henry Cavill head on this Fondjoy figure, and it's like sort of a crappy Temu version. And then we have this heat vision accessory, which is kind of cool, but it's so big and bulky, it's like a helmet. I mean, why does he have all this red stuff sort of going on the side of his head? It just looks ridiculous. It's cast in a semi-transparent plastic, but doesn't have the angry head to attach it to. Here he is with the head without the heat vision effects attached, and then here with the heat vision effects attached. And it looks absolutely ridiculous. It's so big and bulky. It's not just like a helmet, but there's all this red crap just going to the sides. What the hell is that supposed to be? I mean, the beams themselves look good, but all that stuff around him is dumb. They could have at least made that stuff transparent. Like, what the hell? Even Mattel, in their 6-inch line, and not the Movie Master line, but the basic line, made a much better heat vision effect. This came with, I think maybe it's called Heat Vision Superman, and I found it very useful with a lot of the other figures I collect. This is with a much cheaper figure, and looks significantly better, less bulky on the sides. Here's an example of the recent Fondjoy Superman Henry Cavill release. The head sculpt is just infinitely better. Now I'm talking about his cape, and I hate his cape. Well, there's just so many things I hate about this figure, and a lot of you will probably say, oh, it was a good figure back in the day. No, it was not. It was a bad figure back in the day, and it's a worse figure now. Anyway, he has a cloth soft goods cape. There is no bendy wire, which is a missed opportunity. The cape itself stretches out, I don't know, about that far. It just feels so bad. You hear my hand rubbing against it. It's just awful. The inside is a lot smoother, and it really should have had a bendy wire in that area. And now for the reused differences and similarities between this black suit Superman and the red and blue suit version. Now this is the old Superman figure, not the new one, and I believe it's the same figure, same sculpt, different paint job. So let's take a closer look. Now looking at their heads. I can't quite tell if it's a new head. I think it's the same head, but this one has a way better paint job. The flesh color looks so much better that it becomes an immediate improvement. The way that cape is connected looks better. This one goes to the Superman logo. This one does not. As we go further down, the body looks to be the same, just black versus blue. Superman symbol, yeah, they look about the same. Even the sleeves have the similar type pattern on them. Same horrible rough cape. But this one is an improvement. I mean, that flesh color alone makes the head sculpt look way better. So if you think this is bad, God, look at that one. And in turn, to compare him with the new Fondjoy Henry Cavill Superman, which is an amazing release. So, heads are way different, neck is way thicker, head sits lower. Hair looks better, eyes look better, paint job looks better, everything looks better. The way the cape is connected looks better, the texture in the suit is way better. I mean, look at that, it looks magnificent. That, not so much. The sculpted muscles are way more prominent, way better. The drop-down shoulders, which can look really bad, is not an issue on him. The cape is so much better on this guy. It looks and feels good. This one, I hate touching. It's just awful. So, huge improvement. I can't wait to get the black suit one that's like this guy. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and his accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing about 7.6 inches tall, which can translate to around 19.5 centimeters. And the newer Henry Cavill is a little bit shorter, about 7.4 inches, and fits in pretty good with McFarlane toys. And for his articulation, starting with his head, he can rotate side to side. He can look up, not that much, down quite a bit more. Can tilt his head a little bit from side to side. The neck is just far too long and thin. Shoulders, he does have drop-down shoulders, which look bad like this, but just put them back in place. They go out about 90 degrees, up all the way. Like I said, I think they look really bad like this. It just helps articulation, but just looks awful. A little bit of rotation. Double jointed elbows. His wrists can rotate and is hinged. Ball joint in the torso. Can't really rotate much forward and back. His waist, can't really rotate much either. Can't really do much of anything in the waist. What is the point of that? So that's really all you can do with this guy. Legs, they go out almost complete as a split, not quite. Ball joints, once again, drop down hips. They look so bad when they're down. Just push them back into place. You kind of got to pull them down to get full articulation as far as going forward. Looks a little bit awkward. Back not at all. He's got double jointed knees. And then his ankle. Forward and back. Rotate. Tilt, rock, at least a little bit. And toe articulation. Here's a look at the black suit Superman hovering above the skies of Metropolis. Now let's check him out. Next to some other action figures. Starting off with some other Henry Cavill Superman figures. Here he is, next to the other two Fondjoy Henry Cavill Superman figures that I have. We have the old school blue and red one, which is the worst, and the old school black one, which is a little bit better, and the new blue and red one, which is an amazing figure. Can't wait to get the new black one and compare them all together. And here he is, next to the McFarlane DC Multiverse black suit Henry Cavill Superman. You can see he's a little bit shorter, not a lot, but his proportions are a lot better. The arms, the neck, the texturing, everything is better. The newer Fondjoy figures are a little bit more in line with the scale of the McFarlane toys, and that's why I get the line. And McFarlane did make 4 different versions of the Henry Cavill Superman, and I believe there's another one coming up. Movie, theatrical, deluxe assortment, which looks to be a re-release of some of the older ones for a higher price point. Next, with the Mezco 112 Collective black suit Henry Cavill Superman. And here he is with both versions of the Mezco Henry Cavill Superman that I have. And here, next to Mattel's black suit Superman, this is actually based off the Man of Steel look. I have 5 versions of the Henry Cavill Mattel Movie Master Superman, and I believe these are all of them that they made. And now, next to the Mayfix's version of this Superman, they also made a black suit version, but I opted out to get that one. Next, with the Mattel 6-inch basic version, here are all the black suit Henry Cavill Superman figures that I have by Fondjoy, McFarlane, Mezco, and Mattel. Can't wait to get the new Fondjoy version. If anyone is aware of where he is in stock, let me know. I plan to order him from Bomboosby, but it's still pre-order there right now. Now check him out with some other Fondjoy figures. Here are the 2 older versions of the Henry Cavill Superman. The black suit, and then the blue and red suit. And the black suit is definitely a little bit more than just a slight improvement over the blue and red one, but they're both pretty bad figures. Although the first one is just the worst. Then, Fondjoy released some Batman figures. We have Batman and Joker from the Dark Knight trilogy, and Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. These figures were pretty much as bad as the Superman, maybe a little bit better than the first Superman. Now they released Wonder Woman and Cyborg from Justice League. I guess they're about on par with this Superman, although his flesh color looks a little better. Fondjoy was continuing to make improvements, but still producing mediocre figures. Next, they released some figures from Aquaman 2, Aquaman and Mera, and I would say there's significant improvement on quality on these figures. Not quite to par with what they release nowadays, but a significant improvement. And after all that, Fondjoy finally released the Ben Affleck Batman, Batfleck from Batman vs Superman. They made the figures a little bit shorter, And I appreciate that, because originally Fondjoy was 8-inch scale, even though Superman here is about 7.6 inches. Most of the releases are about 7.4, which fits in pretty good with McFarlane. This is what really put Fondjoy on the map. Nobody cared about Fondjoy before this, because their figures really that kind of sucked. This figure was top-notch, excellent, put them on the map, and everything since then has been excellent, great quality. Here are all the Batfleck figures I made from Batman vs Superman, Nightmare Batman, Regular Batman, and Armored Batman. And here are the Batfleck figures I made from Justice League, the regular version and the tactical suit version. They also made a Robert Pattinson Batman from The Batman, every bit as good as the others. Here are the Fondjoy releases from the James Gunn Superman film. We have the regular Superman, Battle Damage Superman, and Lex Luthor. And here's the most recent Fondjoy release. We have Superman versus Battle Damage Armored Batman from Batman vs Superman. An excellent 2-pack, Fondjoy's first 2-pack. And here's the entire Fondjoy DC collection. So far they've only made live action figures. I would love to see what Fondjoy would do if they dipped into comic figures. The next one to come out is going to be the Black Suit Superman. Looking forward to him. And after that, I believe it's going to be the Michael Keaton Batman for the Flash movie. Also looking forward to him. Now let's check him out. Next is some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a Fondjoy figure, they're advertised as 8-inch scale, but they're more like 7.5 inches tall, especially the newer ones closer to McFarlane. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect, and then work way smaller. But first, let's check them out with some McFarlane Superman figures. In front of you are 5 different action figures. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures and Diamond Select toys. Here's Superman, next to some snowflake-shaped pasta. And here he is, with some DC Direct and NECA Superman figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel Superman figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts and Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's an alright Henry Cavill Superman. Who am I kidding? It's a bad Henry Cavill Superman figure. I do like the texture on his suit, but I don't love it. I love it on the new Fondjoy version. His face, it's bad. Not as bad as the original red and blue one, but it's bad. I literally think calling it the Temu Henry Cavill Superman is so accurate. The cape is horrific, horrible, horrible. I hate touching it. It feels so bad. And the heat vision effect is every bit as bad. It looks like a fucking helmet. It's awful. Why would they make it like that? At least make it transparent on the sides. Why is there all that red energy coming out of his ears? So weird. Beyond that, he simply has some extra hands. The figure is taller than I like. I don't like the way his articulation looks, the hips, the shoulders, etc. His cape, his accessories. There's so much to complain about. And then the actual figure itself, not that good. If I had to rate this guy, I'll probably give him a 4.5 out of 10. Now the original one, I think I give him a 4. Hell, I'll probably push that down to a 3.5 nowadays. And then the recent one for the 2-pack, man, that is a nice figure. I'll give that guy an 8.5. It is excellent. And that is going to be, I imagine, what the black suit version would be like, and I can't wait to get that one. So, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.